In the search for the formula for the perfect sphere, I'll do a simple experiment over here by varying the number of single crochets in the magic ring, keeping constant the 4 increase and decrease rounds, 4 rounds without increase for the midsection. The number of single crochets in the magic ring should also be equal to the number of stitches increase or decrease in the increase and decrease rounds. So the measurements I will be taking will be with reference to the magic ring. So the magic ring will be on top, the horizontal circumference will be measured, the vertical circumference will also be measured. With these two measurements, we can calculate the spherical ratio. So the spherical ratio is the horizontal circumference over the vertical circumference, and with this ratio going to 1, we will have a more spherical shape that is produced. So I have done the 5 single crochet in the magic ring. The spherical ratio is 1.016, 6 single crochet in the magic ring is 1.004, and for the last one, 7 single crochet in the magic ring is 1.063. So with this, we can see that the 6 single crochet in the magic ring is actually the most spherical with 1.004 closest to the value of 1. So before we begin, you'll first have to understand how to do the single crochet, magic ring, and the invisible decrease. I'll link the amigurumi basics course over here which I have done up. Just feel free to take a look at this video if you have forgotten any of these techniques. So now I'll be sharing on the formula to achieve the perfect sphere over here. To start off, we have to create a magic ring, do a slip knot, tighten, insert your hook in and create 6 single crochets. So using this loop as the foundation, you just continue doing single crochets. After you have 6 single crochets, it will look something like this. Just fasten off the magic ring and start on the second round. So for round 2, we will increase every multiple of 2. So what does this mean? It means that from the original 6 stitches, we will increase to a total of 12 stitches in round 2. So for every second stitch, you'll do a single crochet in the same stitch as the previous single crochet. In round 3, we will now increase every multiple of 3. So whenever you reach a multiple of 3, you will put the single crochet in the same stitch as the previous single crochet as an increased stitch. So at the end of this round, we would expect 18 stitches over here. 1, 2, 3. The third one is in the same stitch as the previous one. And you just keep repeating from there. So for round 4, I'll just transfer my stitch marker, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So for every 4th stitch now, that will be the stitch that will be the increase, where it will be a single crochet in the previous stitch. So I have completed the 4th round over here, and it will look something like this. This is actually the last increase row that we will do for the purpose of this tutorial. If you want to create a 2D circle, you can choose to stop at this point and fasten off to the first stitch and end off your work. But since we are doing a tutorial on how to create a perfect sphere, we have to understand that this diameter of the 2D circle will be the diameter of our sphere in the end. So to create the curvature at the sides now, we will have to do 4 single crochet rows with no increase for the midsection of the sphere. So to begin our round 5, we will single crochet in each stitch as mentioned to create a midsection where there is no increase or decrease stitches at all. So just do single crochet around every stitch. So after you are done with the 5th round, you can see that the curvature of the sphere is starting to form after you create the single crochet round. So for round 6 to 8, we just continue doing the single crochet in each stitch. And I will fast forward this section, and now we are at round 9. So for round 9, this is the start of the decrease rows. We will decrease every multiple of 4. What this means is, for the first 2 stitches is 1 stitch by itself, and for the 3rd and the 4th stitch, we will do the invisible decrease stitch. So we continue this same pattern throughout round 9, and at the end of the round, we can see that it looks something like this. So for round 10, I have already done the first stitch over here and transferred the stitch marker. So you have to do a decrease every multiple of 3 for this round. So for the first stitch is a normal single crochet. For the second and the third stitch, these 2 stitches will be used for the invisible decrease. So do this all around round 10 as well. And at the end of round 10, you can see that the hole in the center is getting smaller. So this is the time where we can insert our stuffing. So make sure you stuff the sphere well, such that the shape of the sphere is propped up with the stuffing inside the body. So after stuffing well, we can proceed to round 11. We are almost at the end of creating this sphere. So for this round, we will decrease every multiple of 2. So what this means is we will do an invisible decrease all around the 12 stitches in this round. At the end of this round, we will have 6 stitches. It is time for us to fasten off and weave in the 6 stitches with the embroidery needle. So just cut the yarn, pull through, insert the yarn into the needle, insert your needle into the outer loop of the V's. So insert the needle and pull through the yarn for every single stitch for the 6 stitches in round 12. So at the end of this, insert your needle into the center of the circle and pull through the yarn and tighten it. After tightening the yarn, you can cut this loose end off and you will get the perfect sphere that you are looking for. And here you have it. You have the perfect sphere that is circular all around, and the end product will look something like this. So just a quick run through of this formula. It is actually summarized over here. You start off with a 6 single crochet in the magic ring, increase in increasing multiples to the desired diameter that you want. So this diameter can be larger or smaller. You might not need 4 increased rows, you might only need 3 increased rows, or you can even increase the number of increased rows to make a larger sphere. So after you increase to the multiple that you want and you get the diameter of the sphere that you want, you can begin on the midsection. So the midsection should have the same number of rows as how many increase and decrease rows you use. So in this example over here, since I have 4 increased rows and 4 decreased rows, I will have 4 single crochet rows in the midsection to create a proportionate sphere. So this is the formula for creating the perfect sphere. Just 4 things to take note. Do a magic ring for the start to prevent the hole in the center. Do an invisible decrease to ensure that your increased rows look the same as your decreased rows. And lastly, weave in the stitches with only the outer V. Hope you found this video useful. Please like and subscribe for more crochet videos. Bye!